Welcome back to Reminiscing with Renee, and today I'm here with my daughter Anastasia, and we will be talking about the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine. So don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not giving no medical advice. Neither is Anastasia. And today we're just here to talk about our own experience with COVID-19 and with the vaccine Johnson & Johnson. If you had a chance to look at our other video, we had did a mukbang, right? How long ago was that? We did a mukbang sometime last year in reference to Anastasia catching COVID-19 and the experience that our family had to go to. So I won't go into detail about that, but I will link that video in the description box. I actually have a video on my page about the COVID-19 scare for our family, and she has one on her page as well. So I will link that below. However, we did do a mukbang. We talked about the scare that we went through. Anastasia went away to the beach, came back, didn't feel well, and we ended up quarantining her even prior to finding out that she had COVID. Just because she has the symptoms, I was already treating it as COVID, and come to find out when she finally got tested and got her results, she did have COVID. So I go in more detail in that video, so make sure you go check that video out if you want to know more about that experience. Fast forward to now with the vaccine. So initially, to be honest, I was skeptical. My husband, the family, some of my other children are still skeptical about getting the vaccine for coronavirus. However, Anastasia wanted to get the vaccine. So she kept asking me, Mom, can you make me an appointment? Mom, can you check? Mom, I want to get the vaccine. Because she works and she's out around other people and things of that nature. So although I was still skeptical, she wanted to get the vaccine. And I found out that they were giving the vaccine down at Temple. And I said, well, I'll take you down there to get the vaccine. So I think I was undecided all the way up until we got there, because I kept saying, well, I might get it, but I don't know. And I just was up and down about it, but I didn't want her to get the vaccine by herself. So once we got there, I said, all right, that's it. I'm just going to get the vaccine with you. So when we first got there, there was a line. Now, I was irritated with her because we get all the way down to Temple and she don't have her ID with her. And so I'm fussing like, okay, now we the second people in line to get the shot and she don't have her ID. So I'm like, well, you can't be coming out the house without your ID. Like, what is wrong with you? So of course I'm irritated because I got to go back on the 95 and go back home to get her ID. However, the security guard was really nice. He was really accommodating. It was one lady, the first lady in line, and then we were second in line. So he was like, you know what? It's fine. Take your time. Go home. We'll be here till 4 o'clock. Go home. Get her ID. Come back. When you come back, come to the front of the line, and I'll let you guys in. Thank God. Because I was already chewing her head off the whole ride home. But anyway, we did get home. She got her identification. We went back. Sure enough, we gets back. There was a lady security guard standing at the corner in the front of the line. The line by now is already wrapped around the corner, up the street around the corner. And the lady security guard basically was like, can I help you? And I said, well, we were already here this morning and the young man over here told us to come back to the front because we had to go back and get her ID from home. So she said, okay, well, you can get his attention and you can talk to him. So as soon as we got his attention, he remembered us and he let us get right in. So how was the setup? How was the experience or the setup when we got inside for the COVID vaccine?
We made us sit on a chair, and like one by one, the chair was moving up and stuff. And when it was our turn, we talked to the girl, and we was like giving her our information and stuff like that. And then we move over once we done to get the shot, and it was real fast.
So yeah, the experience was kind of quick. It was definitely a quick process.
My arms still swollen.
They pretty much had things organized, I would say, to least. They did give us a paper, so this was like the initial paper that they had gave us when we got there, and it says what to know about Johnson J&J COVID-19 vaccine. So it was just some frequently asked questions on here. I'll read off some of the questions and then I will put the questions and the answers in the description box just in case anybody was interested or wanted to know more about this particular vaccine. But one of the questions on here are, how is this vaccine given? What are the benefits of Johnson & Johnson vaccine? What are the risks of Johnson & Johnson vaccine? What should I do about side effects? Will Johnson & Johnson vaccine give me COVID-19? Can anyone receive this vaccine at the moment? And then who should not get this Johnson & Johnson vaccine? So these are all the questions that they gave us. They gave us some toll-free numbers, some websites to go to, as well as some side effects, some really like minor side effects, and then some severe side effects from taking this particular vaccine. So just for purposes of giving you guys this information, again, I'm not a professional or a medical advisor. However, I will link this stuff below just in case somebody was curious to know what these questions were and what the answers were that they gave us when we got there. So that was the initial paper they gave us. So when we got there, they had maybe like 4 chairs lined up, and they had them this way, and we were all sitting in these chairs, and then there was 2 tables in the front with 2 people at each table giving the actual vaccine. So as the person in the first chair got out, each person moved up, and it was almost like a, you know, like a converter line, and it just kept on moving. So throughout that process, we did have to bring our identification so that they can make sure you were in the right zip code. And also we had to give our medical card. Now I do know some people didn't have their medical cards. I didn't realize that we needed the medical card. So I was also one of those scrambling around like, oh, I need my medical card. However, the guy next to me, he didn't have his medical card either because he didn't know, and they still gave him the vaccine. As long as he had his identification and the right address, zip code was on the identification. I'm not sure because I've tested negative for COVID the 2 times that I got tested for it, and both times were negative. Anastasia actually did have COVID-19, so I don't know if somebody who had it, symptoms will be different than somebody who didn't. That's all still stuff that I'm not really sure about. However, again, I'm just giving my own experience. So for me, when I first got the shot, I felt okay. They do make you wait 15 minutes after getting the shot, so that they can monitor you just for a few minutes. But because I have a shellfish allergy, I explained to them that I do have an EpiPen in my bag for shellfish, and I do have asthma. I've had asthma all my life, so I have a pump. So they said because you have that shellfish allergy, I was hospitalized many years ago from a really bad allergic reaction from shellfish, and I had to get an IV put in me to help me. I had hives, I broke out, I had so much going on. So because I went through that process because of the shellfish, they wanted me to stay an extra 15 minutes. So they said for me to stay 30 minutes, Anastasia 15 minutes. So long story short, I didn't feel no real reaction directly following the shot other than my arm being really sore. There was some burning sensation up under my skin, but other than that, that was initially the first thing that I felt. Once I got home, I think I kind of brushed through the day. I was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm okay. I got the shot. So what? Like, you know, so I had my normal day. I did go through my day normally. However, halfway through my day, I remember doing my Married at First Sight. If you watch my channel, I do reviews on Married at First Sight season 12. And I remember doing the Married at First Sight, and I just remember feeling like weak and started feeling real tired really early in the day. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe that's coming from the shot. So I went to bed that night. Soon as I went upstairs, I got upstairs, took my little vitamin. I usually take vitamins at night. And I just got chills. And I started shivering. I was really, really cold. So I just wrapped myself in a blanket and laid down. And I started getting cold sweats. I definitely had a low fever. It wasn't really high, but I definitely was really hot. And I just remember my husband coming up, bringing me water, checking on me and things like that. I'm shivering, my mouth is moving, and I just had a really bad headache. So I finally got a chance to doze off. I did not sleep good that night. So I think I woke up at least about 5 or 6 times. And each time I woke up, I stayed up. And so I had a headache. I took some Tylenol. That really didn't help me much. I was hot, then cold, and cold and hot. So I turned the heat up, I turned the heat down. Try to crack the window, shut the window. So it was one of those situations where I was just up and down. I didn't know what to do. So I did realize that was one of the side effects that was on there. The next day, I could barely get out of bed. So this was Easter Sunday. So this is Easter Sunday, and I'm really sick. I'm floored. So I'm like, you know what? By the time I even woke up, once I finally fell asleep, I woke up and I looked at the time and I realized I was halfway through my church service. So I had to jump on real quick and peek at, the sermon and see what they were talking about with one eye open. When I tell you, I was not feeling well. But like they say with the symptoms, they say it usually will last 1 to 2 days, and that's seems deemed to be true. Like that whole day I was just groggy and just a little tired. I felt a little weak, but for the most part I was okay. Today I just still have a really sore arm. Sometimes I get tingling sensation in my left hand, which is the arm that I got my shot, and I'll get a headache occasionally here and there. So that's the symptoms that I've had. I don't know. You want to talk about what happened when you was at work and what your symptoms were?
I just wasn't feeling myself, and I wasn't feeling I was feeling tired and weak and dizzy and nauseous, and I don't know. I'm usually hype and happy and move around and stuff, and I wasn't like that the whole time I was at work. So then I left. Just went home.
So yeah, and you said right now it's just your arm still sore.
Yeah, my arm's swollen right now.
Yeah, and I actually have some swelling as well. It's a little bit hard right there where you get the shot at. I don't know. It's a little knot underneath your skin. And I don't know what that means as far as, once the medicine is put in your arm. But
overall, I don't regret getting it because I feel like it's going to be helpful. I haven't got COVID again after that, right? Mm-mm. It was just, I had got a little cold after it, but it wasn't COVID. It was just a cold.
And so for me, another one of the symptoms that I had got was a little bit dizziness. And I got dry mouth. Even now, and it's been a couple days, I'm so thirsty. And when I drink water, I still feel thirsty. My throat is dry. My mouth is dry. And so it was somebody else that I had saw on social media who said when they got the particular Johnson & Johnson, they had to hydrate really good prior to getting a shot and stay hydrated throughout the next week or so. So again, if this is a shot that you're thinking about getting, definitely stay hydrated because I'm still thirsty. My mouth is dry, my throat is dry, and I just continue to just drink water throughout the day just to keep it moist. And so once we got our actual shot, this is another form that they gave us. It says how to register to use VSafe. So basically VSafe is once you get your COVID-19 vaccine, you can get registered that you have it, and then you can they'll check in on you as far as symptoms and to make sure that you're okay, troubleshoot any issues that you may be having, and I guess it's just another resource that they have just to kind of help you through the process. I'll actually put a picture of this also in a slide in here. I'll actually put a picture of both forms front to back in the slide. So any regrets? So again, my husband nobody else in our family got vaccinated yet. My husband's still on the ropes. He's up and down trying to decide if he wanted. My youngest daughter, who is 16, she's saying that she doesn't want it because it's not a lot of research yet and she want to just make sure. So I just told her, look it up, do your research. I'm not a parent that's going to force anything on my kids. She wanted to get the vaccine on her own and I was going there to support her. And then initially I'm like, okay, you know what? Since she's here and I'm here, I'm just going to get it. We're going to see what happens. My husband is like, oh, well, babe, since you got it, I'm thinking about it. So he might get it this weekend, but it's still up in the air. But again, it's still his decision to make for his body if that's what he wants to do. Right now, I know where we live at, they're going by zip codes. So if you're not sure if you're in the right zip code, I know that you can go to your own government's website and see what they have available for you where you live at, if that's something that you want to do. Me personally, I don't have any regrets. I just pray for the best and just, just continue to keep my wisdom and my understanding and just research and study and do the things I need to do to make myself feel comfortable with the decisions I make about my own life. And that's just how I feel about whatever I do. I don't want to backslide and say, oh, I did say this, but now I'm saying this. No, I like to make a decision that works best for me and my life. And I pray about it to the God that I serve, and then I move forward with life. So, but I do not judge other people who decide to do or not do what I do. So that's why I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that that was a disclaimer, that I am not a medical professional. I'm not telling you to take this shot or not take this shot, or one shot is better than the other, because from what I've read, they all three do the same thing, the three that we have offered here. So again, it's just that was the vaccine that was provided at the moment. Anastasia really wanted the Johnson & Johnson because she didn't want to have to go back for a second vaccine. She doesn't like needles. The whole time she sat there, she asked the lady 100 questions. Is it going to hurt? Is it going to take long? What's it going to do? Like, so basically she just wanted to get it over with. So again, I'm not somebody that would try to give any type of medical advice. However, I do want to share our experience with YouTube and make sure that we're transparent. We open to questions. If anybody have any questions, I will have a question box open at the bottom. Just please be respectful to what we decided to do with our own lives, and we will respect what it is that you decide to do with your own life. So I think that's all we have for today. I will make sure that I've linked everything below, and I'll take pictures of both sides of this paper so you guys can see, just in case you wanted some information. I do encourage you to do your own research and understanding for your own self, so that when you make a decision, you're making it for yourself and nobody's making it for you. You guys have a blessed week, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of the family. Bye.